Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a flip through of the month of August in my A5 size bullet journal. I am in my Sojourner Gedi Folio, which is really starting to scuff and age beautifully. I love seeing these marks and knowing that this has come with me to baseball games, to the park, wherever I've wanted it. I have not babied this guy, and the cover is starting to tell that story. I am still in my Leuchtturm Bullet Journal Edition 1 notebook. It hasn't really chunked up at all because I don't add very many tip-ins or stickers, but you can see how many pages I've used. I'm definitely in the last third, so we will see how many more months I get in this guy. Coming to my index, August started on page 114 and went until page 147. I added the Marvel rewatch spread this month, and that is one of my favorite spreads I've done to date. I also added a couple of other spreads, but since they were topics that are already in my index, I just added to those categories. So I added here to my brain dump wish list, page 142, and I also added to my 2022 planner thoughts, so page 131 to 2. I love doing it this way because when I go to look for, my planner thoughts or any brain dumps or wish lists, I have all the pages there together and I don't have to keep scanning through the index and remembering them all separately. So this works really, really well for me. This is part of Ryder Carroll's bullet journal method. I haven't done threading with the page numbers, but I do plan to do that. So if I do that, I will definitely show you or point it out in a future flip through. I've added a couple of sticky notes just with little reminders, something I need to do in September and something I need to check before an appointment in October. I've had these sticky notes since March, and I just realized that they would be great in my little album I keep with my bullet journal. So these are by Midori, and I believe I got them from Jet Pens. Well, they were a birthday gift, but it was from Jet Pens, and I like the small size. As you'll see in a few minutes, it does fit really well into the calendars I draw in here. So that was the impetus for including these. My word of the year and goals, and my movement and meditation trackers. These I have been keeping up with the tracking portion. I haven't done much movement or meditation at all in August, which you can clearly see with all of these dots. That's okay. September is a new month and I'm just meeting myself where I am. For my moments spread, I just jotted down a couple of things I would like to add. I want to make sure I have the time to sit down and be able to concisely capture what I want. So for now, I just put it on a post-it and I will get to that sometime soon. And then we head to August. I will link my August setup in case you're curious about where any stickers are or the colors of any pens or anything. But this was my first time using stamps in this notebook, and I loved how it turned out. I enjoyed it so much, I actually did the exact same style for September, so I can link that video as well. Then we move into my favorite spread, the monthly, and I was much more consistent with it this month. In July, I mentioned that I fell off with tracking and even using this part as consistently as I would like. So in August, I really simplified my habits and I was much, much better with tracking. Again, a lot of habits didn't get completed or I didn't do them as often as I would like to in an ideal world, but that is okay. I did track them consistently and that's progress too. I also use the calendar for my appointments, for my Instagram posts, and I even included Helen's sale from the Coffee Monsters Co. because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget about it. Kept up with my little monthly. I love crossing off the day each evening, And you'll see here are a couple more of those sticky notes I was talking about. So for example, I knew some positions were going to be posted in the school board I'm with, and I wanted to see what they were. So I had just put this on the day that they opened, so I didn't forget. And then I was able to leave it down here. This one here, we had family friends driving out to visit, and we weren't sure exactly which day they were coming, so I just put it on the earliest date and was able to move that to adjust. So these are great and really perfectly sized. I was happy with the progress that I've made with these daily habits. These have been the same few habits for months now, so it's nice to see when I'm making progress. Nothing new here, some Instagram ideas, the YouTube videos that I posted. This completed, this not touched. Then we have my Calendex, so just a couple of notes for every day. This is really, really helpful for me. It's such a great overview to have, and it also functions as a kind of index for my daily pages. So if, for example, I know that I want to find the day that, you know, we went to my brother's baseball game, then I can look here and then flip to that page. I did the challenges from Cindy at Llama Letters this month, and they were a lot of fun. She had designed it so that you could do individual doodles or you could actually make a sea or ocean scene, but I opted to stay with my individual layout, and that worked really, really well for me. These are sea doodles or sketches, and then these are song titles, and it's just fun. I love using the fine liner. I use the Tombow Mono drawing pen in the 0.1 and the Ballograf Ballpoint pen, same as last month. These three here are probably my favorite from this month. I realized I couldn't do a doodle style. Most of them ended up being more realistic sketches, which was fine. Some of the fish were kind of gross towards the end, or at least my drawing of them was. But it was fun. Oh, this one. When I saw Flounder, I knew I had to get him from The Little Mermaid there. This one here, I accidentally wrote end of the world and then realized it was supposed to be end of the road. This is another of Cindy's fonts. I showed that last month. That's from her book, the cute hand lettering. I love to look in here for ideas and get to practice some of her styles. These are fun to draw. I find them almost meditative. I just open up a sketch or doodle on my phone and do my best to recreate it. I don't use pencil first because I am honestly too lazy. I just like to get it all done in one shot. And because this is just for me and it's kind of in a sketchy style, I don't mind if, you know, I draw too big and I just have to go over the line and you can still see it. I find the sketchy style gives me a lot of leeway. And these were the kind of grosser ones that I was talking about at the end. I did really like playing around with this typewriter style of lettering though. If I had thought about it and what the prompts were, I probably would have drawn these doodle boxes horizontally so that I could have tried to do the fish a little bit bigger, but live and learn. And then we move into my daily pages. So I did really like using the iconic highlighter. This is the double-sided one, and I've linked them before. They're from Jet Pens, and they have a smaller chisel tip. Honestly, the only complaint I had about these is that they don't sit very nicely in this pen holder. They're too thin to catch like the Tombows did, and putting this over, it's possible, but it was causing a little bit of friction and a teeny bit of peeling there, so I usually just put it here and keep the elastic around it. This is a tiny complaint, guys, so that was it, but the color was beautiful. You can see I'm using my small icon stickers from Planner Monkey Co. So I love the Instagram ones for when I want to do a post. We celebrated Paul's grandmother's 100th birthday, which was lovely. We had an outdoor tea party so that it was safe. And I had scones and clotted cream for the first time. I've had scones before, but I've never had one with clotted cream and jam, although I of course have seen them on TV and in shows. And my goodness, do I get what the hype was about. It was delicious. So that is a very fond memory. Again, you can see some days are short, some days I have way more notes. I am still using my exact same key. So anything health related, memories, what I'm watching, a lot of Blue Jays again. What else? Tasks, you know, if I'm migrating it. This one, I migrated it to my future log and I had just written a date there for myself. Some video notes, that's by the Coffee Monsters Co. Here are some more of my 2022 planner thoughts. So this is my second spread. The first one was general thoughts. So here, general planner thoughts, journal, planner, systems that I'm just carrying forward. And this one was narrowed down to the standard size because that is at the top of my list right now. So I just compared some inserts I'm thinking of, whether or not they are bound or stapled. The paper, color, and type if known, the grid size, the grid type, square or dot grid, and the number of pages available. Some of them are custom or have different options. That's helpful for me to have all in one place. And this is my Marvel spread. This is vellum that I ordered from Hannah at Caffeine and Paper Co., which is obviously perfect. You can get it in color or black and white, but I wanted black and white. I love using the Tombow N79 for spreads that aren't really monthly specific. So that's the same Tombow I just used to outline this one. So what I decided to do was try and put all of the movies in the timeline order. So not the order the movie was released, but the universe timeline order. So Disney Plus has almost all of these movies and they do that for you. But there were, of course, a couple of movies that I guess Disney Plus didn't produce or doesn't have rights to right now. So I had to also go and do some cross-referencing with some people's blogs. And guys, I am not a like super intense Marvel fan, so there were some different schools of thought and I just, chose the most popular one and went with that. I was also lucky enough to find a website where someone had already put all of these titles in a graphic together. So I was able to print that off and cut them out. So I just wrote Marvel Rewatch and I have the little film here. So I have a check mark. I just write the date that I finish it and if I watched it with anyone. This is for the newest movie, or I guess it's not even the newest movie anymore. Another one just came out. But this was for the Black Widow movie. There was no graphic for that yet. And then I guess the most recent one, I have no clue where in the timeline it belongs, but it will go here with a little notation maybe. Again, I have the little films, and I did those because on this side of the spread, I just put a couple of the shows that we've been watching. We watched and finished both The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki, and there's a couple more that we may watch. I just did the one here so that I can hopefully fit a few seasons. I guess I'll be out of this notebook by the time the second seasons come out, but that is okay. I guess I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I did also tab this page as well so that I could get to it easily. And then I moved right back into my dailies. This is a sticker from Avalon and 9th. After I did my huge sticker reorganization project, I will link that video too, I remembered a lot of the stickers that I had and I'm making more of an effort to use them. So that works really well for appointments. This one too, the MLB did a whole Field of Dreams game and broadcast, which was really, really cool for anyone who loves the movie, which of course I do. Got this little burger icon from Planner Monkey Co. for a barbecue we had with a friend that I haven't seen in years. It was really nice to see him. He's such an old friend that even though it's literally been years, we fell right back into the same rhythm. And isn't that nice when that happens? These little baseball icons are from Caffeine and Paper Co. I had my first professional haircut since 2019, I think. Don't get me wrong, my brother has been doing a great job, but I really wanted layers cut into my hair because it's grown so much since 2019 that all the layers grew out and I just had so much curls and weight at the bottom that it feels very nice to have that lightened up quite a bit. Coming to the end here, we had a barbecue. I tried to make some mac and cheese sauce by winging it, and that did not work out. I will not do that again. Ooh, my brother and his partner went to Montreal and they brought back Montreal bagels and they are delicious. I think I just finished the last one from the freezer, which makes me really sad, but they were a joy. Brain dump wish list, so miscellaneous and things that I've been thinking of from Hobonichi. Here, my Uni Jetstream gave out, so I did move back to the Uni Signo in the 0.38, and I think I'll stay with that in September. Our family friends who visited, they brought their large puppy. He was so sweet, and my mom and I took him to one of my brother's baseball games. Turns out he was way too excited for that. We didn't stay long, but it was still a fun time. Some more video notes, and we come to the end of the month. So it was my dad's birthday. This is a little box from Starfish and Frog, the cupcake from Planner Monkey Co., and we finished off on the 31st. I did end up having this page left over. I don't like to start a new month with the previous month's dailies here. That's just a personal preference. I like this side of the page to be blank and feel like there's a good separation. So when this happens, I usually like to put a quote, and this is from a poem by Mary Oliver. I just went ahead and drew some lilies at the bottom there, and I used the highlighter to just shade and outline a little so that it all felt like it connected. I like how this turned out. I don't often include quotes, but if I have the space for it, I'm certainly happy to. I don't know about you guys, but August is a month that always feels like it flies by for me. That's one of the reasons I love keeping a bullet journal. It lets me actually see what I did every day, even if it was, something very small. And that way it's not entirely a blur. This system is working so well for me. When I started my September setup, I asked myself if I wanted to change anything, if I wanted to freshen it up. But honestly, I'm happy with this. Even something as simple as having my line to separate my signifiers and this highlighted swatch to separate each new day, it's gotten to the point where my eyes are, trained or expecting to look for those markers, and it helps me find everything that I'd like really easily. How about you guys? Are you finding that you're settling into your systems, or are you ready to try something new? Especially with the Hobonichi release. I know Hobonichi release time is always super exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing and hearing what everyone got. I didn't place my order yet because I don't know what I want to do next year, so I'm going to wait until I figure that out, or at least have a better idea. But right now, this bullet journal system is working exactly how I need it to, and I'm always happy to share it with you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.